Ladies and gentlemen, good evening to you. Welcome to Trends KE, yet another episode. Thank you very much for always having the alternative voice as your choice for Thursday night shows. We're here to entertain you and to inform you, and tonight we have an interesting conversation after our weekly trends. We host a teacher, a professional teacher. We shall be learning a bit on financial literacy, and also she will be telling us much about her foundation and just a lot to learn tonight. But other than that, we are having this week's trending topics. A lot has been happening this week, and that's what we shall be taking you through. So stay with us. I can see many of you have already tuned in. Thank you very much, and keep it here until the end of the show. So please don't leave. We have that conversation with Linah Aphiwe all the way from SA, South Africa. You don't want to miss this one. So this week, what has been happening? Let me take you through this. As you saw, those of you might have seen this, the president has been moving around at night and is saying that he's doing this because, well, to stop the spread of coronavirus. So you people have forced the president to start moving around at night. Man, you should stay indoors. Even when you see the president is close at your door, please stay at your place. So I shall be playing you that clip by when the president visited a certain studio, a radio studio called Ruben Radio at night. My producer, if you can play that video just in a few years, it's coming up. So the president visited that radio station. That is it. That's the photo. The video is coming up just in a while. Yeah, there it is. And that guy was actually interested to see the president live on his show.
Asante sana. Ubarikiwe rais.
Nawe pia.
Ubarikiwe.
Asante.
Haya. Haya mke wangu. Huyo ni Rais Uhuru Kenyatta mke wangu. Huyo ni Rais Uhuru Kenyatta mke wangu. Nimesema sana na yeye moja kwa moja hapa ndani ya studio. Amekuwa hapa ndani.
That guy was very happy to see the president on his show. Imagine president coming to your show at night uninformed. That reminds me of another guy who saw the president. This was actually a grown-up media guy, and he cried tears because he has met the president. So I just liked how this young guy received that. Speaking of which, what is happening in this town, Nairobi? There is a lot of stealing here, there, and everywhere. So there is this clip that surfaced online about someone who stole from a cop, a border guy stealing from a cop on the streets when this cop is on duty. This video has been circulating around, but then the police are saying that they have checked, and according to them, the National Police Service Kenya are saying our investigation have revealed that a video circulating on social media insinuating to be a police officer being snatched a phone is a manipulated video whose intention is not known. So you people they're saying that clip was wrong and it has been circulating everywhere, but I just don't know why at the police, which where they have to draw the line. That clip will be coming up just a bit. I don't know why they have to draw the line at the police, because there have been a lot of these videos there. There is another video there by a border guy who snatched something from someone else. So I don't, if they have to confirm, let them confirm everything that we are showing them to tell us that they are wrong. Let's have this other clip. So that's it. As you see, that's another person ameibiwa pale. Watu wanasanya hii town mbaya sana. Sijui hii tabia mmetoa wapi. And I think it's because of the economy. That's why people are just collecting things. There's wanasanya hadi wewe ukipatikana hapo utasanya uweke ndani ya pipa. These people are stealing everything, including people. I think it's because of the economy. People have no means of survival. So some have just resorted to getting whatever they can get any way they can get it, which is not so good. And speaking of that, there is something else that I have wanted to tell you. Na mafuta imeongeza bei, by the way. I think those are the things that are pressing people, and some are resorting into doing things that are not acceptable. You see? Juzi mlisema mmechangia Moshi, mmechoka. You have seen his back. He's doing something else there with the, DJ Shiti. Hapo wanachapa kazi. Sasa hiyo Moshi hataki mchezo. So the government should actually come in and help people wajaribu kupunguza hiyo nini. So sports have been happening, and some of us are not happy because our teams have been kicked out. Inauma lakini inabidi uzoe. In Europa, those who have been watching Europa, many teams have been kicked out. You're now headed to the finals. Last weekend, there are so many matches that were happening around, and some teams got kicked out also in Tanzania. Here in Kenya, we had the Mashemeji Derby, there Gor Mahia and FC. But I'll play you this clip. I think this clip is what sums it up all. This clip from an official from Simba FC down in Tanzania. I think that clip will sum it for all the teams that lost. Let's have a look at this. That's what was happening there. Ule jamaa wetu wa Tanzania Kagigo, kama unajua huyo official anaitwaje, tafadhali tuambie jina lake, tumpe pole zetu. Pale wana Simba walipigwa kichapo na Yanga, alafu hapo pia FC Leopards wakatandikwa na Gor Mahia, lakini it was by luck through penalties. And another thing that we shall be getting into, just staying in Tanzania, kuna mtu alijaribu kuleta kiki. I'm talking about Lava Lava, the musician, and his former, I don't know if I should use former or whatever, anaitwa Lulu Diva. Sasa hawa watu waliingia studio ya radio wakaamua kupiga kiki, but their kiki went south because according to me, I think they should come and benchmark on how to create these controversies from Kenyans like Willy Paul. Willy Paul knows how to pull this thing. You remember what he pulled by saying that he had gotten married to this lady from Jamaica. I think some people fell for it and actually believed. Lakini hii Lava Lava ati wana apologize. Even if you just look at their script, it doesn't add up, because you see someone comes to the studio, Lava Lava comes in saying he wants to surprise someone, and they are dressed the same colors. Sasa, how can you surprise someone na mmeshona kitenge nguo zinafanana? That's not a surprise. That's clearly something that had been arranged. And let's have a look at this first clip of that.
Ndo kazi. Pole, yani, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Mpe miwani, yani really ni kwa ilibidi nirudi kwenye kiti changu ili ni mimi na mambo sitakupitwa. Nataka kabisa kujua what really happened. Sijawahi kumuona Lulu like really pissed off. Unajua mwanzo nifikie kalewa, kumbe ananiambia Diva mimi sijalewa na stress za mapenzi. Umemfanya nini? Don't cry. Lete, nitampelekea mimi alete. Jamani. Yalete mantampa mimi atakuba. Lava in the building, ladies and gents. Msame. We just wanted to surprise you. Seriously. Msame. No, wait. Nije hapo mimi ndo. Inabidi nilipe damu.
Abdul niache. Staki. Jamani staki. Afu ningejua nisingekuja hapa. Naomba niache.
Forgiveness. Tuko na lava for a surprise. Umekuja. No, seriously.
Yes.
That's a very poor script, by the way. Wale marafiki zetu, those of you who are watching from Tanzania, tell your people they should come for benchmarking on how to do some of these kikis. Poor scripting. Alafu wamevaa nguo zimefanana. Then, ni jamaa pia ametuangusha. In case it was to be real, ni jamaa ametuangusha sisi kama wanaume. But actually they were doing that before they released a song. So it was just like something to create attention, to market their song, which they have released, Lava and Lulu Diva. Getting back to the streets here in Kenya, I have just told you there's a lot that's happening and people are suffering, some are suffering silently. So right now, if you've been watching news, there's a cop who is on the loose, a lady. She has actually killed 2 people so far, and she's armed and dangerous. Sai nimesikia sijui yako wapi. We shall be showing you that image just in a while. That lady is on the loose. She's killed 2 people, and you should all be on the lookout. And they're saying that she's only killing the people that kill a cop on the loose. She's seen somewhere in Eldoret, so ni watu kwa hizo maeneo, you should stay on the watch. And she's killing her former lovers. That's a police officer. I think there are just some things to do with mental issues in the police force. As you saw the police speaking some time back, they are saying many of them, by the way, are having mental issues that have not been solved. It's high time we got into that discussion. Speaking of that, there is someone also who has been released, I think today. If you remember the story of Onyancha, she killed someone, so she was reported on a case of murder for one person, but then he made some remarks on live TV some time back on KTN News, actually. And on that show, he said that he had killed actually very many people, mostly women. But as you know, the stories from the media cannot be used as evidence in court if they have not asked for it, I think. He said he had killed up to 18 people and he was involved in some things to do with blood, cult, stories of that kind. Alisema, from what I heard from that story on KTN News, he was saying that he had actually been gotten into that cult by a teacher, at least from the way he thinks, a teacher from high school, a female teacher whom he used to sneak out of classes and go and see at night. And he thought that that teacher might have been the one who got him into that cult that led him to be killing people at night and using their blood, I don't know for what. But he has been released because of lack of evidence. But from what we see, he's a changed man. From that story that he was giving to KTN News, he's a changed man, he's now a pastor. So We really hope if it's true from what he said himself, he's changed and he will not be of any harm to people out here. I can see many people are tuned in. I will go quickly through some of your comments before I wind up on this section, and that interview is coming up in just a few minutes. Joshua Booi is tuned in from India. Dixon Ombutsi tuned in at Kenyatta. Hiyo Kenyatta ni KU ama people have issues with people, other people from KU. Watching JK as usual, as always. We're here. Davis Tamba, Sansana Davis, you're back. Umepotea siku kadhaa. Paul Kinuthia, as always, is tuned in from Runda. From Runda. Thank you very much from Runda. Bill Hajoy is here to support. I'm here to support my girl all the way from South Africa. Yeah, we are having your girl from South Africa. She will be coming just in a few. Meshe Kwashuri. Thank you. Evelyn Nganga from Eldoret. Hi, Eve. I see you there. Alex Onsase, as always, is watching. And then we have JL Empire is tuned in from Nairobi. Priscilla Mudomi, thanks, Priscilla. Joshua Booi is saying it's easy to catch them. Most of the number plates can be seen and zoomed, but most CCTV images don't have such capabilities. So those who buy CCTV kindly buy average ones, not cheap ones, please, so that we can nasa these people who are stealing from the others. Na wanaharibia jina ya watu wa boda boda. Not all people are that bad. Sedo, unasalimiwa na Eve, Mike, na Kariuki, Mwalimu, Pauline, Jen, and Paige from Moi. Wow, thank you very much to all that team from Moi University for tuning into the show. Thank you very much. So I want you to remind you of this interview that is coming up in a few minutes. We shall be having this lady on the show. That's Linah Boy, all the way from South Africa. And we have this interview on education for all. She runs a foundation as well as an education center. So see you in just a few on that show. We have this little boy here talking about Triomio. So he found some clip from the past. I want you to listen to that voice and see how he looked when he was still that little.
You might see me in a Rari, off good fella, sorry. It's a new dance, no tango. Any other game is a game.
That voice. And then we go all the way to where are we headed now? Moji Short Baba decided to do some sales in the United States, in New York City. He decided to gang up with someone else and do some marketing. Wakenya tuna biashara hata uwapeleke wapi. Kenyans bwana, Kenyans. Kitu walikosa tu hapo ni biscuit, patco na nini nyingine zile zenye watu huuza kwa matatu. Biscuit, patco, maji, soda baridi. Biscuit, patco, maji, soda baridi. And then we take you somewhere to South Africa now. We are going to South Africa and we are talking about Zuma. So apparently Zuma has handed himself to the police. Okay, if you ask me why I'm laughing, is because I can see my guest in the background. Yeah, so Zuma has handed himself to the police. And I will show you just a clip here from the past, him enjoying time with what I guess is his family. Our guest will confirm that some time back. And then I show you this clip where he actually finally surrendered to the police. Bazoo, but the guy was having some nice time with the family before before the authority decided that the president, former president, should be arrested. Alikuwa amekataa by the way. He had said that he cannot hand himself to the police. There is corona. That is equal to death sentence because of his age. But then after that pressure, he decided to hand himself to the police. And let's just have a look at this clip here.
Curfew or no curfew, we are here to, we will die for Zuma.
Handed himself to the police, and our guest shall be telling us the mood there, how the people have received this, or probably she doesn't want to talk about it. So fine, thank you. And thank you very much for tuning in. She is just as shocked as this woman is shocked here. Have a look at this woman who is also shocked.
Nikaona mtu anakuja, nikamkaribisha, karibu customer. Nisikia ku kwa mgongo. Nikashindwa ni nini kumeharibika ni nini? Kwani niko jingine? Akaniambia funga kasi, nikamuuliza sini saa moja. Nikasikia ku, nikaangukia meroni. Sasa niliamka nikifikiria.
Well, yeah, pia mimi nimesikia tu ku, ikabidi tumalize hizo trends hapo and we head into this conversation. My producer is insisting to show us a photo here of England because after his team France lost, he went supporting England, and England is still surviving in the show. And if you are wondering why some people are supporting England, it's because it has very many Manchester United players. Wale watu hawapendi Man U, many of them are not around England for now. So the final will be on Sunday. That's England will be meeting Italy. So it's either the cup remains home or goes to Rome. What do you think? Will the cup be remaining home or the cup shall be going to Rome? So that brings us to an end to our trending topics, and we shall be heading into this conversation. You will be bringing your question. We have this beautiful lady here, Linah Booi, who we shall be having to discuss this. If you have any questions on financial literacy, she's there to answer your question, and then we shall be talking about many other things that she is doing as well. So good evening to you, Linah, and welcome to the show. I can see you've said that you shall not be talking about your former president.
Good evening, how are you? I will not talk about my grandfather in any way.
Wow. So yeah, we shall not get to talk about something that you don't want to talk about. How are you doing, Linah? And welcome to the show. Thank you very much, actually, for accepting our invite.
Thank you for the invite. We are fine under the COVID pandemic. It's difficult times, but we are coping.
You are currently on lockdown?
Yes, we are currently on lockdown, but we are working.
That's great to hear. So there is a lot of conversation we shall be having around what you're doing as a teacher and the foundation you're running, and about your education center. So I'll actually throw in a first question at you. What actually motivated you to get into this profession as a teacher? Because there are so many other professions. Did you always think of becoming a teacher, or it just happened by chance?
I don't think I always thought I'll be a teacher, but looking back, while I was growing up, I used to teach the trees. My mama used to even shout at me when I was teaching the trees. It was like, no, you can't do that. And after matric, I went and started business management because I thought I wouldn't want to be a teacher. But later, I wanted to do another course, so I did education, and at the time more informed because I knew why I wanted to be a teacher. rather than, I think it was better when I did it as a second qualification, because now I knew why I wanted to be a teacher. So that's why I decided, okay, let me just start teaching. And then, yeah.
Wow, many people actually never wanted to become, many people whom I know, let me put that disclaimer, actually never wanted to become teachers in the first place. But once they got in it, many are actually enjoying the profession as a teacher. And something that I had asked you about the finances down there in South Africa, because around here teachers are not having nice time. They are always on the roads. Right now they are having conversations to increase their salary, because they are saying their salary is not good pay for the work they are doing. How about you in South Africa? Do you enjoy the pay that you are receiving as a teacher?
I don't, I wouldn't say I enjoy the salary as much, but I get to do what I enjoy. So I accept the salary. I learn to live within my means with the salary that I get. We've also been having negotiations for some time here. I think they're still negotiating, but when you do something that you love, you tend to ignore other things and then you continue with what you do. So, yeah.
Speaking of living within the means, some lesson here on financial literacy, and I'm sure the audience will be coming up with very many other questions on the same, because very many youths or people within the youth bracket who have just gotten into employment really have a great problem with budgeting for the little they make out of their hustles and out of their professions. And I saw you had posted something. I had just asked you about it a few minutes ago, that if you get something that is selling for 1,000 rands, and at the time you are seeing it, it's going for about 750 rands, then you buy it. According to you, you have not saved 250, but you have spent 750, which you had not intended to spend. But what happens to this, that you get something that is cheap and go for it, or you, as many people say, you only live once. So when you get the best thing and you want it, pick it and go ahead with it.
You know, from that question, from that statement that you've just said, there's a lot to say. One is you need to be disciplined with spending your money, but obviously it's not something that you just learn. It's something you learn as you grow. Like I also had that tendency that I'll have when I see something for 350, I'll buy it if it was 700 rand. That's one way of looking at it. I know one of my friends responded to that and said, no, I spent 750. I was provoked by the sale. So the 750 that she spent, it's not that it was unprovoked. She was provoked by the sale. But you need to be disciplined with your finances, with everything, like in general, you need to be disciplined. So the same with finances. And one of the most, like with the way that I've been trying to live with my finances, I learned that the importance of budgeting. So if you spend 750 on something that you don't really need, one, you out of your budget already because you did not need this, and this compromises your savings. This is you would have used that 750 to invest somewhere, to do something. And nowadays we have a lot of ways of investing savings. We have banks, things that we did not, or things that I'd say I was not exposed to growing up. But now I think that is what brought the center as well, the educational center, because I felt good. There were a lot of things that I think I would have done differently have I been educated or have been had access to information, but I couldn't. So hence the financial literacy as one of the major things for the center as well. So it's important to be educated about these things, find information, look for information. We have internet. information is available at all times. So use that information.
So speaking of which, you have talked about banking, and there is another what I would call a scam, because it's very hard among the youths. Mobile banking. You walk with your phone everywhere, and then right now things are tight. Some people are actually earning little, and once you earn, you want to go and use it at that. Why do you need a budget for that? You have your phone, you work with your money on the phone. The money is little. You go and use it as it comes. You use it as it comes. How can you manage discipline within those tough times like people are experiencing right now?
Again, you plan, Kaloku, you plan with the little that you have. If you earn a 20 rand, then you try by all means that your expenses, whatever your living arrangement, at least they might be 17 rand, and then you save 1 rand, and then you have that 2 rand as an emergency within the month. So you save with the little that you have, whatever that you have, whatever money that you get, you save with that money. We have a lot of people, in debts because they don't understand the concepts of saving. They don't understand the concept of saving money. I was also, after graduating, with my first job, I had lots of accounts. And when you have to pay those accounts with all those clothes that you did not need, and then when you need things that are valuable in life, you need to buy yourself a house, you need to invest in things that will help you. You can't, because you're already in debt with all those unnecessary debts. So it's important that you teach yourself from a young age. It's the culture that we need to teach our kids from a young age. Save, save, save.
Save, save, save. I think people will have to start saving right away after this show. That's a great inspiration there. And speaking of which, speaking of saving and investments, let's say someone has just graduated, for instance, and then let's say something happens, a lottery or something of the sort, someone gives you a private jet, let's say something of that sort, and you've just graduated. Of course, at that time, if you're just from school and you haven't been doing business there, that simply means that you can't actually manage a private jet on your own. So what will someone do with that? And let me say that they will want to get money out of it. That's like a lottery, like you've just gotten a lot of money at once. What are you supposed to do with it at that time?
I'm glad that you mentioned lottery, because even when you win lottery, you get financial coaching. So it's important. Everyone needs a mentor, someone that you will just lay yourself out, and then with all the details. So you'll also get a financial coach, and then you give out your ideas to that. As humans, you get, like, especially when you get money, you get excited. I want a car, I want a house, I want this and this. So when you get a financial coach, someone who is informed, someone who knows more than you do, because there's only so much you can get on the internet, there's only so much you can get from a book. But when you get someone who understands the concept of finances, the concept of handling finances, when you get that person, then they will tell you that if you want to make money with this, you can consider renting it out, and then consider the risk of renting it out. Consider that you have to get a pilot. That type of information. When you just had an idea of what you'll have a private jet, and the private jet will get you money. But the other things around getting money with your private jets, those are the things that the coach will help you through, and then you work out how you're going to get the money with the jet that you just received. And when you need to understand that getting money goes with spending money, so you must be willing to spend the money to get money, and you plan on that as well.
Wow. So money looks for money. You can't look for money when there is no money to help you to look for money. That's very interesting. I can see Kagigo Malida, our friend there, tuned all the way from Tanzania. Asante sana Kagigo na karibu sana. And we shall be having questions from the audience on that. Elizabeth Chege, thank you very much kwa kukuja. So proud of you, Lina. That's Dianti, who is tuned in, I think.
Olothando lwakho.
Thank you very much for helping me. Christy,
That's my sister, by the way.
oh, that's your sister. Thank you very much for tuning in and listening to your sister. She's giving us a lot of information here. Christy Lakit is watching from Brazil. Thank you very much, all the way from Brazil. Thank you. Stephen Karanja is tuned in from Nairobi. Kagigo Malida is tuned from Tanzania. Bilha is saying, please stress on saving on tight budget for the youths watching, because there is a lot of tight budget, little money, and so much to do, and you still have to save. The millennial Christian, that's Julie. Not too late, Julie. You are still on time. Bilha Joy, lol, mobile banking is such a big scam. We can't, surviving with mobile banking is tricky. Felix Ogoti is following the show, and then Will Diaries is also tuned in. JL Empire, may I ask, are financial digital lenders in common in your country like here in Kenya? We have Tala and so on. If they are there, are they lending money to foreigners? I think this guy wants to get a loan from South Africa. So he's asking if digital lenders are there and if they can lend money to foreigners.
One, for you to get a loan in South Africa, you have to be in South Africa, probably be employed in South Africa and have a permit before you can even apply for a loan. But I think only if you have a citizen or a permanent work resident, then you can get a loan.
Yeah.
But that is why we have this conversation, because we're trying to move away from getting loans and step into the new principle of savings. So Mr. Empire there, he needs to try, he needs to start saving and less on loans. Live within your means and save.
So actually, on a serious note, digital money lenders in Kenya, they have a lot of their money out here among the youths, and much of that money has not been returned because of the hard times. And someone borrows money from one digital lender, goes to another and to another, and their rates are just totally different. They keep increasing with time, and some people probably are not thinking of paying back that money. How is it a good idea to borrow money if you have a plan for the money?
If you have a plan and a good plan, then, and if you realize that this is something that you cannot wait for. I know for us, it's difficult to save for a house because it's expensive, but you can save towards your needs, the things that you're going to need for the house, and then you can go and apply for a bond, and then you plan on that. And before you actually buy a house with a bond, you don't just go to one bank, to Standard Bank. Go to Standard Bank, go to FNB, go to ABSA, go to Capitec, find out their interest, be informed, make an informed decision. I had prepared in just a few tips for the youth, just to be financial frenzy. That's what I call it. So it's important that you make sure when you make your decision, make an informed decision. You cannot just decide what you need to buy a house and then you go to one bank. Find out their interest rates. How are they going to affect you? What's going to be in the installment here? Take it down, make it down, make notes, and then you go somewhere else. You do the same thing so that you are informed, and then you take a decision that will be best for you, for your financial life. because nowadays, finances, it's a struggle, especially with the pandemic. It's a struggle. Surviving is a struggle. So with the little that you have, you need to try and save as much as you can.
Yeah, wow, that's great. You have to do it from an informed background. Just don't rush, because it might get back to a point where you have to pay it, and then when you do your maths, there isn't much that you've gotten out of it. Thank you very much,
Yeah.
and be reading more questions from the audience later on. Okay, let's go with this one here. How do we save will while on a tight budget and increasing value added tax on on common commodities as youths? There's a lot of taxation around here. That's why that topic is coming up recently. The price of gas actually increased just the other day. It was announced. So there is a tight budget, and hence that question from Best Staprof. How do we save while on tight budget?
It's really a tough one, because it's hectic for everyone. Even for us, here, we had our petrol increase yesterday, I think yesterday or the day before. So it's really tough, and everything is increasing, and we don't even have to mention that the salaries remain the same. Again, it goes back living within your means. You try and on the tips that I had prepared, I said you need to understand the difference between a need and a want. Going back to that example of seeing something for 250, for that is less 250, and before you even decide if this is a sale or whatever, one, do you really need this? Like, that is what will make your decision be informed more than anything. So you need to try and live with, what do you need? Do you need it? Can you survive without it? Is there an alternative that you can use that is probably less pricey than this one? So you consider those options and you dwell on that, and then you make your decision. So make sure that you understand that this is something that you need, and you have looked at other options, and this is not the right option, or this is the right option, and then you buy. And even if it's just saving 50 rand, that makes a difference,
Yeah.
rather than not saving at all. Even if you save a 50 rand or 100 rand, as little as you can save, it's fine. There is an app that I use. I'm not sure. It takes. I'm not sure if I can mention it, but it takes 10 rand or 5 rand, probably a day or a month. 10 rand, you'll have it on your bank and you won't even notice it. In others, it takes 10 cent. It starts from 10 cent. And then when you look at it later, then they usually show you that if you save 10 cents every day, by the end of the year, you'll have so much. If you look at that 10 cent does not have any value. But if you save that 10 cent, when you look at it at the end of the year, it's a lot of money. So you save from as little as much as you can. You don't have to save a lot to realize that you are saving, but you start small. I know I don't have a lot of money. I'm struggling with my finances. I'm one of those that had to learn the hard way how to handle cash. And when I started working, wow, if I see something I like and I realize that this is trending and it will look nice on me, oh, I'll just buy it. But now I've learned to realize, do I need this? No, I don't need it. So I just leave it. Just today, I went to the shop and I saw a very nice print, and I realized that this will suit me. And I thought I'll buy for Ukuru as well, the lady that just, Olotando, that's my sister. I thought
Yeah.
maybe I can buy this for me and Kuru. And it was cheap. It was 120 rand. I had that 120 rand, but I realized that with the 240 that I'm going to buy this pens for me and Kuru, I can probably use it for something else. And then I decided, okay, let me leave this and go to work. It's easier that way. So you try and discipline yourself.
Actually, she has had, and now you have a date to pay. And speaking of which, you have talked about an app that helps you save money. Around here, we have an app for our mobile money provider, and they have a place where they give you everything that you have been spending, like for the whole year, and that's what is has been shocking everyone lately. Someone realizes he has spent a lot of money that you can't even think if you ever had that money in your pocket at any given time. So I can
Yeah.
see time is going very fast, and we just had a lot to talk about. So before we will get back to the questions from the audience later on, let's talk about your education center, the Aphiwe Educational Center. Tell us the background. What motivated you to come up with it, and how did it come up? And then you tell us about the kind of courses that you provide on the platform.
Oh, Aphiwe Educational Center. Oh, that's my baby. Actually, it came with the lockdown.
Yeah.
During the lock, I'm sure you've noticed that I really enjoy teaching anything that has to do with education. So during the lockdown, I noticed that we weren't doing much. We were supposed to be on lockdown, but our kids were on the street and a lot of things were going wrong and the educational system was suffering. So I thought I came with this idea of an online educational center. So I just decided to get more information on it. And then so I started by registering it as a company,
Yeah.
and then I started. I had one learner after I posted an advert. I had one learner who was a university student, and apparently she was struggling with English. And then I told her that, oh no, I can teach you, and that's how we started. So I did her English 1501, and she did well after that, and she was happy. So I thought, okay. Then I started making adverts, and then other people noticed. The educational center is still new. I have about 12 students on that are online and about six face to face. So that's not really much, but it's still starting. And I don't know if it's the universe, because I thought it will start from grade 6 upwards, but I seem to have a lot of university first year students. And when I started, I wasn't sure if I'll be able to handle it. And I thought, but that's too much. I cannot teach at people who are older. But that seems to be doing well, and their results are improving. So I'm also happy that I'm doing something. And I'm grateful that it's working out, and I'm grateful that they have trusted me with their education. So I'm hoping that it grows. When the vision of the educational center is to go beyond the academics, teach things that we do not get at a normal school, hence the introduction of financial literacy. We're hoping to do also coaching, counseling as well. And a lot of other things, other skills. I'm hoping to get other people who'll be interested in offering different skills that they can tend to other people. The aim is to just teach young people lifelong skills, things that they're going to use either to get a job or to provide opportunities for others to be employers, something that we can take further than just academics. It's okay with academics, but we've done it and the level of unemployment is so high. So why not try something different? So that's what I was hoping. And I was trying to close the gap of the famous gap year, because I thought if we have an educational center that offers those short courses, computer courses, and all of that, we do not have that yet, but I'm hoping that probably next year we'll have a few of those short courses that our matriculants can do during that gap year that they like so much. So then that way they'll make informed decisions about their future because they've experimented with some of the things that are at the center and they know what's happening and they are well informed. The the idea is to get them to be employers as well.
Yeah, and about that, do you get people on that platform, on the online classes, mostly from other countries outside South Africa? And also, if that happens, also you say that you might want some people to come on board as either tutors. Would you also consider people from outside South Africa to come and help in training? Because I can see there are so many people on this platform who have many other skills, some with even degrees in the same. And so hence that question, would you be willing to get anybody else outside South Africa, either as a tutor or as a student on that platform?
I do have students outside of South Africa. I have another gentleman as well who wanted to do, he's hoping to, excuse me, get into a business deal in South Africa. So he's been trying to learn business English. So I've been trying to help him with that. And I also have two ladies from Tanzania as well. So I do have people outside of South Africa, and I am willing to anyone as long as we share the same goals. So anyone is welcome.
Yeah. And we shall be giving those platforms. You had given those platforms. So unless there is any other means that they can get in touch apart from the social media.
They can contact me. The social media page, there is Aphiwe Educational Center. There is a contact number there. They can contact me on that number, or send me a message on Facebook as well.
Oh, wow. Something else that I wanted to ask you before we get, I can see time is moving very fast. So there is something else also that you're working with. You're working on with Bilha, whom we had on the show the other day about foundation. Tell us about that as well.
That is teen affairs. We are working on having a foundation that only mostly caters for young people from an age of 12. It's mostly about educating them about girls with hygiene, assisting them with their career choices, helping them improve their skills. So we just want to encourage them to realize their skills from an early age. So we are hoping to expose them to different things that they can do, art, anything that they can do, just to realize their skills earlier so that they start working on them early. So the earlier, the better. And we also hoping to be going around educating young girls about hygiene, the importance of loving yourself, and all those things, and just to improve their lives and teaching them entrepreneurial skills and all those type of things. So that is what we are aiming for, and mostly also to provide emotional support in any way. Anything that we can do to make their lives, to assist them in making their lives better and making informed decisions about their lives from an early age.
Wow, that's so great. How can someone take part in this? And then as you answer that, how do you get your funding for this foundation?
For the foundation, so far we've been funding it ourselves, but we have not done a lot. We're planning to have a launch in the next month. We'll have a launch on that, and then we'll take it from there. We're going to have, for now, we'll have just a WhatsApp group, and then we'll discuss anything further, and then we'll start having our conversations on that WhatsApp group, and then we'll take it from there.
Well, what's the territory from which you're picking these young people, the ones that you offer the help under that foundation?
Anyway around around Africa for now. And it could be anyone, as long as you can get access to our page, to our details, and then we can start having conversations. But I do feel that kids from far further rural areas, places that are hard to reach, are the ones that are suffering the most. So we are hoping to get to those hard to reach areas and try to see how we can provide assistance. But it's something that we are still working on, and we are planning our launch soon, and then we'll start working.
So you've talked about training them on their skills. So are you helping them within the schools in which they are studying or outside their schools where they are studying?
Currently, Bella has been helping them in the schools where they are working. She usually visits, and then they host where they show off their talent, and they do some sort of talent shows as well. So we are polishing it. It's something new, so we're still working on it, and we are trying to improve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Sure. Go on.
Sorry.
I thought I had interrupted you. So I can see time is really very much not on our side, and we had just a lot to talk about, and we shall be picking questions and comments from our audience there. Hey cowboy, Lumumba, umekuja na I'm seeing you so well. Tuned in from Ushago. Thank you very much for tuning in, Lumumba. Who else? We have Daniel Jaka there tuned in from India. Madam Lina, how can unemployed youth invest and save without stable work? How can a youth maneuver the financial problems provided he only earns enough to keep him going? So this person earns enough to keep you going. How can you work around that?
I'm not sure because he said unemployed youth, so I'm assuming that this is someone who is unemployed. And then, excuse me, one of the things that we've been trying to work on, that I've been trying to, I'm sure with what I explained with the educational center and the aim of the educational center, is to get people to use what they have, their hands, to try and create employment for themselves. So the first thing that we need to attend here is the issue of unemployment. Yes, I understand we are unemployed, and it's a struggle for all of us. We've all been there, and but other than being employed, what can you do with your hands? What can you offer? Look around you. What gap can you close? What opportunity do you see? You don't have to look far. You just look around you. What services can you provide? I did mention that when I started the center, I looked around and I thought, what can I do? And with the educational center, one thing I realized that with the internet and everything online, so this is the future of education. So why not start now and grow with it? So the same, even if you feel that people in my area, they go to town for vegetables, then bring vegetables to your people, and then from there you'll start asking, they'll come for probably beetroot and any of that, and then you realize that no, they need more than just beetroot. Let me try and get potatoes, is anything else. So you try and find a gap, and then you find that opportunity. It's frustrating being unemployed. It really is. But we need to try and do something. And then from there, you look into growing, because when you've started selling beetroot, I'll tell my friends will tell their friends. But one of the most important things that I need to stress, you cannot start your business because you think that your friends are the first one who are going to buy. If you're planning on selling vegetables or clothes and you think my friends will buy, then do not start it. Start when you know that you do not know anyone, but you are willing to go out there to sell yourself so that people can buy your products. Then that's what you need to do. You start and with the will, and it's going to be tough. It's going to be very tough, and the people that are closest to you will tell you that there's no way you can sell this beetroot. Come give us this beetroot so we can cook it. Don't let that break you down. You just continue pushing and try to close that gap and make something of yourself. Make something, do something with your hands. Use whatever that you can use, whatever that you are good at.
Yeah.
I am affiliated with one of the organizations in South Africa, Kingdom Empire. One of
Yeah.
the things that they taught us was that for you to find your purpose, you need to find your passion. Whatever that you are passionate about, use that to as that is your strength. Use it to try and solve any problem that you see in your society that they can help you with. So when you find your passion, it's easier for you to find your purpose. And when no one supports you, when you're doing something that you love, you continue doing it despite what everyone around you say. You continue because this is something that you love, and it gives you a sense of relief when you know that you are doing something that you enjoy. So it will be easier for you to keep going.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you very much for that. Very inspiring there. Sam Braxel, if Sam is tuned in, thank you, Sam. And Caroline Omolo, thank you, Nicole, for tuning in. We have some more questions. Alex Onsase asking about these digital currencies business, like cryptocurrency and bitcoins. Are they legit? Will they help the youths? Can you go with that about Bitcoin and digital currencies?
Unfortunately, I'm still learning on it. I've also recently opened my Luno account. I think my profile has about 3,000 Rand, but I also did not trust it. But I started with, I think, with 250 Rand. That was last year. And then again, I bought another game for 250 Rand. I bought Ripples and Ethereum's, that was in January, but they've been growing since. I've never had any withdrawal. I just bought for 250 rents and then I left it there. And now I have 3,000. I think the last time I checked, I had 3,000, but I think it's less now because they've been struggling. So not it's not something that I know more. I'm also learning. A friend of mine has been teaching me, and she's the one that has been encouraging me to buy, but I don't really know much, but I'm learning. I've also taken that risk, but I thought it was 250 rand. I'm probably going to buy airtime with this 250 rand for the month. So let me see. At the end, I'll only lose 250. And I have not done any withdrawals or any sale. I've
Yeah.
just left it there. So that's all I have on it.
Okay. Cleophas saying welcome, Lina. Sally is
Thank
tuned
you.
in from Kitale. Cleophas saying welcome, Lina, to the show. Nice to hear from you. Already learning a lot.
Thank you.
Who is watching here tonight, Cleophas again? Who is watching here tonight and has been blacklisted on the CRB? Very many people have been blacklisted because of money lenders. Bill Hajoy is saying, Cleophas, cheza chini na hiyo maneno. Cleophas, you've cracked right where it pains most people. CJ Laspon is following the show. Thank you very much, CJ. Bill Hajoy is saying another addition is for us youths to work on having more than one source of income.
Ooh.
Each time learn salary is
Yes.
never enough.
It is never. You cannot live the life that you want with the salary. I have dreams of traveling, and I know that with my teaching salary, I won't be able to travel anywhere other than my house to work. So I need to work.
So
The government gives me enough to leave work, home to work and back. That's the only thing the government gives me. So I need to work.
so that you can travel.
Yes, I need to travel.
Magdalene Kaleli is tuned in. Thank you, Maggie.
Thank
Best
you.
Shuffle. Nice and explaining. Well noted.
Thank you.
Meshach Washuri is on.
Pay those debts and get out of it.
Yeah. Evelyn Nganga is saying then ilikuwa nimesikia mbisi. Valerie is late. Nipewe feedback. Valerie, thank you. You are not very late. There is still much you learn right now. Sky is the limit EP. That is from Nompumelelo Mpelazi.
That's my aunt.
How can you read the way I've read that name?
Nompumelelo Mvelase. That's my aunt. Thank
you
you.
very much for tuning in. Two Wheelers Diaries was held up in traffic, but he has arrived. Kindly, those of you who are watching on YouTube, on Facebook, like on Facebook, subscribe on our YouTube channel, and then you can also follow us on Instagram at _alternative_voice. Thank you very much for coming to the show, Lena. This has been a great conversation. I think we have even just run short of time, and we would need a whole session just for financial literacy, because people have many questions on financial literacy, and just those actually you will remind them, because I think we haven't written them down there on the platforms on which they can get you, both for the foundation, for the Education Center, and as well as your own platforms, as you give us your final remarks. And thank you very much for showing up to the show.
Thank you so much, guys, for having me. It's been great. It's been a great experience for me. It was nice to be here. Before I leave, I just wanted to share a few tips to make sure that we have a financial frenzy youth. So one of my main, the most important one is that you need to understand the value of money. When I say understand the value of money, you need to know with the money that you have, what can you get, so that you understand how far you can go with the money that you have, with the salary that you earn. So know the value of money. And then the second one, number two, try and start learning on the principle of planning. Planning involves planning what do you need, budgeting. One, you start budgeting, and then you start planning for long term and short term. Group your goals according to what is most important and what you need the most. There's my mom there. Thank you. The third one is you need to understand, we spoke about this, wants and needs. Please prioritize your wants, your needs rather than your wants. So you do that, and then that way you'll know what you need and what you need to buy, and then you will not have to spend recklessly. And then one, you need to learn to deal with peer pressure. As the youth, we struggle a lot with that. You see your friend with an iPhone, and then he wants an iPhone. Do you really need an iPhone? No. You already have a nice phone that take nice pictures. Live with that, and then you'll plan for an iPhone. The next thing, start earning money. Try to do something that will get you money. I know a friend of mine that started selling airtime. You start selling airtime for 11 rand, 10 rand airtime. That's your way of earning money. That 1 rand, you save it. And when you start earning money, you teach people, your kids or people that are close to you, the value or the importance of saving and earning money. Because when you have that extra money, then you are able to save money. And then as you grow, you start being an adult, try to avoid credit unnecessarily. That's one thing. And lastly, please maintain a healthy credit life. That way, you will not struggle when you have an emergency that needs your money and you cannot afford to do that because you don't have money, you don't even have a good credit life. So you try and do that as much as you can. Thank you, Nelly. Thank you. Yeah, so thank you. So those are the most important things that I think you need to know for you to be financially friendly. Thank you.
Wow. So how can people get you, actually remind them on those platforms as well?
I have a Facebook page, Aphiwe Educational Center. I also have my own Facebook. You can send me a message on WhatsApp or via the page. I also have, you can also DM me on Aphiwe Mkhize. That's my maiden surname. So I'm Aphiwe Apish Mkhize on Facebook and Aphiwe Educational Center.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much for coming to the show, and we hope to see you some other time.
Thank you so much. Hopefully, I'll see you soon.
Yeah, and thank you very much for everyone who was tuned in. I hope we shall be seeing you next Thursday, same place, same time for the Trends KE on the Alternative Voice. Follow us on our platforms. I think we shall see you on next Thursday. Bye-bye.